The Chicago Sky got a big win against the New York Liberty last night, showing how this team is really coming together and taking on the identity of Teresa Weatherspoon, our head coach. We're going to talk a little bit about what it went into that win, why the Sky are really changing the expectations people have for them coming into the season, and get a little bit into the mailbag. All that and more right after this.
Welcome to Chicago Sky Central, and here's your host, Haize.
What's going on, Sky fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Sky Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related. I'm the host, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chicago Sky Pod on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into it, man. I think everybody's still kind of hungover after the win over the New York Liberty, rightfully so, in which the Chicago Sky led throughout most of that game. Yes, they briefly lost the lead, but they battled back and really fought hard and continue to show the defensive output that they have that are going to help this team. But more importantly, they got through it as a team. They competed as a team. They even got that edge on their shoulder as a team. Marina Mabry, after the game, saying this: I feel like we don't really care about what anyone says. It's really about our locker room, what's in there, and what we believe. Just staying consistent and staying confident in what we're doing will result in more wins. That's the exact type of mindset that I want the Chicago Sky team to have. We don't care about the doubt. We don't care about the preseason polls. We don't care about the power rankings. We don't care who you guys have number one. We don't care about none of that. We're coming out with this team, and we're believing in us, right? We believe in the players in that locker room. We believe in our head coach, in Teresa Weatherspoon. We believe in the identity and culture that we're building here. Getting more wins. That's all that it comes down to. And the fact that this team is doing that is great. And they're doing it through execution. When you look at it so far on the season, the Chicago Sky are the number two defense in the league, right? They are killing it right now. Number three defense in the league, averaging allowing 108. 108. What am I talking about today? They're averaging 80, allowing 80.7 points per game. The only team better than them defensively is the New York Liberty, where it's only allowing 75.8 points per game, and the Connecticut Sun allowing 78.5 points per game as well. The Chicago Sky are right there, and we all kind of knew that and understood that that was going to be the thing that people were looking at with the Chicago Sky team right away. The Sky also, the number one rebounding team in the league, averaging 39 rebounds per game, almost a full rebound over the Dallas Wings, which is the next team against below them. And then you look at blocks, the Chicago Sky averaging the most blocks in the league as well at 8.3, 1.3 more blocks than the team beneath them in the Seattle Storm. And the Chicago Sky overall as well are forcing the third most turnovers in the league as well, forcing their opponents to have 18 turnovers per game. That right now, the Chicago Sky defensively are bringing about everything that I hope that we were going to see from this team as well. When you also look at it, the Chicago Sky are only allowing their opponents to shoot the ball 41% from the field overall. That's right in the middle of the WNBA. But again, they are competing in that manner, in the way that we like to see them in. The Sky defensively are sound. The Sky are on top of things. The Sky are killing it right now in what they are doing on the defensive side of the ball. They're absolutely killing it. Their offense, yeah, we knew that the offense for the Chicago Sky was going to be something that was a little bit rough around the edges. But even with that said, they're not as bad as what I thought they were going to be coming into the game. They're averaging 84 points per game. When you look at what they're allowing, that's a really solid points discrepancy there. They're right in the middle of the pack of the WNBA at the sixth best offense in the league, or seventh best offense in the league. So we got to keep increasing that. That's going to come. We're missing Camilla. We have been missing Diamond DeShields for basically 1.5 out of our 3 games so far, with her only playing 18 minutes in that first game. And Isabel Harrison is another player that can bring it offensively as well. The fact that we haven't even remotely seen the best of what the Chicago Sky team has to offer is a big reason why there's so much reason for hope for the Chicago Sky. Yes, it's only 3 games, and I do want to say that and represent that as well in this. Only 3 games so far. The Sky have things that they need to tighten up for as well. We need to shoot the 3 ball better. We can shoot the 3 ball better as well. We need to overall limit our turnovers as well. Not too bad, right? But not great either. We're averaging 12 turnovers per game. I would like to see that be better for the Chicago Sky. Also, and we're the 11th team as far as free throw shooting, only shooting the ball as a team 65% from the free throw line. We can improve those things. That's also going to help our offense grow the way that we needed to grow as well. But the Chicago Sky are just showing so much, and you got to give it up for Teresa Weatherspoon and how she has this team committed right now. Dana Evans spoke to that after the game as well, saying this: she just breathes confidence into each and every one of us. We love her. We just want to go so hard, play hard for her. And I feel like this win was really for her. We wanted this for her more than anything. And, this is playing, it was against one of the teams Weatherspoon formerly played for as well. So I'm sure that brought its own thing. And we're really forging an identity. And I'm not going to lie to you. As much as I am a Sky fan, I could be a homer at times when it comes to it. I did not expect the identity of this team to form this soon, especially when you look at missing Isabel, missing Diamond DeShields for like I said, basically 1.5 games, right? That we are missing key pieces, missing Camilla, right? Missing key pieces of what the Sky team can be, and that they're going to help the players are going to help this team reach its ultimate ceiling. And for us to still have an identity that you can feel, that's palpable for the Chicago Sky, it's just different there, man. It's really different. And I just appreciate it so much, man. And I hope that a lot of people are also understanding this. And the Sky are understanding how they need to go about the offensive side of the ball, right? Marina Mabry saying this also after the game. Coach Spoon does not want us to settle for those threes. She wants us to take prioritize high quality looks in the paint, work from the inside out, especially when you have the bigs that you do, right? Working from the inside out makes some sense. It allows your guards and your wings to kind of move around off the ball some. And hopefully in that maybe that means they're going to use some of Angel Reese's passing ability a little bit more. Angel and Camilla are both solid passers. Isabel Harrison is a solid passer as well, right? If you can utilize that a little bit more as that goes on, right? We'll see what happens with that one as well. So, we like what it is right now for this team, and the way that this team is showing it. And the best has yet to come when this team. We know that Diamond DeShields is going to be such an important part of the Chicago Sky's offense, right? She's going to be our second leading scorer more than likely. And so not having her in a game like that last night against the New York Liberty says a lot about what this team can mean. Diamond DeShields, Isabel Harrison, Camila Cardoso missing in that type of win, and you're still able to build that type of identity. That's where it goes, man. And, Coach Weatherspoon, as far as the players that are out, saying this: we're holding it down until they get back. When they get back, we'll be extremely happy. And you should be. The fact that the Sky are grinding out the wins the way that they are, the fact that they are competing the way that they are, right? That, when you look at each game has had its own type of mismatch issues and things like that. For the Sky, they don't allow any of it to get in their heads. This is a team that's extremely confident, not only in their own individual skills, but they're confident in each other as a team. And they know how to play their roles. You look at just how things round out for this team as the game goes on. The Sky get better as a team. And yeah, they still like they had their moments where things fell apart in that third quarter against the New York Liberty. But this is a team that when they do, they don't point fingers at each other. They don't blame each other. How many times did you see the New York Liberty make a big bucket or get to the free throw line and the Sky huddled? They all got close together. They talked about it. You can see them communicating with each other, figuring out how and what they needed to do to be better. Holding each other accountable, but not pointing the finger at each other is what's going to make this team a great team. And I started this off by saying the expectations are going to change, and they should change. I did come into this team into the season thinking this team can make a playoffs because I do think the defense is going to be that legit. But I think when you look at how this defense has already started shaping up, how it's already not even started shaping up, how it's already been performing, and we've been missing a defensive anchor and a monster of a rim protector in Camila Cardoso. How many size mismatches have the Chicago Sky had that aren't going to be in the other team's favor when Camilla comes back? And then being able to have Elizabeth Williams backing her up as well, Isabel Harrison coming in. These are all things that, sound like, all right, Haize, well, you're trying to pile it on pretty thick about how good the Sky can be. And yeah, you're damn well right I am, because this team has shown that they give a damn. And that's something that you bet on, right? Is that this team has shown the heart, the fire, the determination, the grit, the execution, the coaching, all of this stuff. And this is still a team that is still figuring each other out. You're talking about and I know we have the extended break this season because of the Olympic break and stuff like that. You're talking about by that time, if not well before that time, this is a Chicago Sky team that is going to be fiery. And you're letting this team already start building confidence. Man, I tell you what, yeah, and I talked a lot about Marina Mabry, who's averaging 18 points per game now for us, she's leading the team in points and assists, right? You can't knock her on that one. I think she's our second leading rebounder as well. She's killing it. And Marina Mabry, much like I said about Kalia Copper last season, is that last season was the season of Kalia Copper showing that she can lead a team and be a superstar. Marina Mabry, in a lot of ways, is on that same ascension now. And to the credit of James Wade, our former coach and GM, he saw that in Marina Mabry, which is why he was willing to give up the draft assets he gave up to bring her in here. And I got to give him credit for that. Marina Mabry is the type of player that gives it defensively, that makes big shots offensively, that has an edge, that love taking the energy out the opposing crowds. And now this same team that has been on the road for 3 tough games gets to go home for 3 games in a row in Chicago in the Wintrust. Come on, man. Listen, these next 3 games are going to tell a lot about the Chicago Sky. And the fact that you get some home cooking, I love that the Sky are already like having promotional nights and different giveaways that they're doing on each night at home. Love that. This is going to energize the city. This is going to energize the fan base. This is going to help build new fans. This is going to help build expectations for this Chicago Sky team. And that's where we're getting to. And I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited to be able to see it and see this team continue to grow. And Angel Reese, for the credit or the hate that she gets or whatever else you want to look at it for, averaging almost a double-double this season, 12 points, 8.7 rebounds. And she may not average double-digit rebounds because she always is going to have solid rebounders around her. Between Elizabeth Williams, Isabel Harrison, and Camila Cardoso, they're always going to be solid rebounders with her, so it's not about that. But she's having the type of impact in her rookie season already, showing the edge, making the big plays, getting in the face. She smiled in the face of the MVP, Breanna Stewart, when they were tugging for a ball and literally made a face at her that told me that it was like, nah, this is mine. Angel Reese is here, and she's going to keep improving. She's going to keep developing. But listen, you can only keep somebody with the fiery spirit of an Angel Reese from taking over for so long. And she's going to take it over in a different way. And I know, and I see a lot of you guys, and I love you guys that say, well, you got to go back to when she was with this team, that team. She was a shooter there. It's a completely different skill set. That doesn't mean she's still going to have to develop it here. But I tell you what, with the way that you see her fighting and competing now, it's coming. It's coming. And man, I love the way that this team is competing and fighting, man. But with that said, I've been asking for you guys to send in your text messages, sending in your voicemails. Brooklyn's been sending in texts. Brooklyn, I'm going to try to implore you, send in some voicemails. We want to hear your voice. But I'm going to read one of her texts today. We're going to probably, over the next few episodes over the weekend, she sent a couple. We'll get them all in. Great insight there. But Brooklyn saying this. Hey, guys, Brooklyn again. Just had another thought about Angel Reese. I was excited about today's game versus the Liberty. So I was watching today's game versus the Liberty. So this was sent in before the Liberty game. So I was watching the highlight versus Dallas, and I was thinking about Angel's development at power forward next to Camila Cardoso. And I know everyone wants Angel to be this stretch four, but I don't think that's her game. I think she's more of a point forward. And I was listening to another YouTuber, and he compared Angel to the WNBA's version of Dennis Rodman. And so I was thinking Angel can actually be a cross between Dennis Rodman and Scottie Pippen if she develops her point forward skills, along with rebounding skills she already has. At first, I compared her to the floor of Draymond and the ceiling of KG. But I think a Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman comparison is much more accurate and interesting if she can develop into that as her ceiling. Or floor of Draymond, Joakim Noah type is still good, but I want to see the point forward version of Angel eventually. Thoughts? I think the thing that you mentioned, like, it depends. Like, point forward doesn't mean that you can't shoot. And even saying stretch forward doesn't mean that you can't also be a point forward, right? People want Angel, at least me, when me and Steve-O talk, we want Angel to develop a solid 10 to 12-foot jumper, right? That first. Worry about three-point shooting, all those other things down the line. If she can develop that, that's going to open up her game a lot. But player that you mentioned at the bottom of that was Joakim Noah, who also developed that. His shot was ugly, but Joakim Noah developed a solid elbow jumper and a solid 10 to 15-footer where he was able to hit it consistently. Now, he wasn't taking 10 of them a game, but he was able in pick and pops. if the defense did collapse to kind of keep Derrick Rose from penetrating, which is something that Marina Mabrey, Dana Evans do, he was able to pop out and take that jump shot. So I think that is just Joakim Noah type is almost enough there with what she's able to do everywhere else. And I don't, you may not know because I don't do a lot of draft coverage here, but player comps are something that's kind of difficult to me. I more so like to look at what that player's skill set is and how they do it. Like, her passing skills are there, and I do think she can legitimately grow that into being a point forward type role. I do think that for sure. It just depends on how she grows and develops, but she can do it all, and she's going to have that mentality, and it may be, like I said before, Greg Popovich, one of the greatest coaches of all time, always describes development as Legos. You lay your foundation, and then you add something on, whether it be the 10 to 15-foot jumper, or we're going to run more plays for you to be the ball handler on these plays and to be that point forward. And then the next season, you try to add the next one, and then you add another skill on top of that. And then eventually, you have a solid enough, well-rounded player to where they can do a little bit of everything. And so I think that's the kind of mindset you want to see from Angel Reese going forward. And I think she's going to be able to thrive in it, Brooklyn. I really think she's going to be able to thrive in it. Great text message there. Thank you for leaving that. But before we leave, I want to go around the W real quick for just one topic. The WNBA officially announced that Toronto will be the next team for the WNBA. They will be begin play in 2026. That's after the Valkyries are going to start in 2025. This is all headed towards the WNBA's goal of having 16 teams by 2028. So that would mean that they're adding at least one team every year for the next 4 seasons, basically, is what they're going to be doing. And that's the goal that they're going to set. And, Toronto has been one that supported really good crowds before. The Chicago Sky and Lynx played in Toronto last season in the preseason and sold out a 20,000-seat arena. They're going to be playing in the Coca-Cola Coliseum, which is a little over 8,000-seat arena, so solid enough there. And shout out to Toronto for getting a team, and they're going to support that team extremely well. And the W keeps growing, and it's going to give more opportunities for more ladies to actually stick around on rosters. I also hope that the WNBA opens an additional roster spot on each team, but we're getting there, and the W is growing. I love to see it, and I wanted to spend some time talking about that as well. That's my time for today, guys. Make sure you guys are following the show at Chicago Sky Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, ChicagoSkyCentral@gmail.com. And then lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Sky related, thanks to you guys. And like I like to end every episode on, go Sky. Love you guys. All right, hey, listen, we'll see you guys next time we go to Skytown, y'all. That was awkward. Why did I end the show like that? I don't know. I'll see you guys next time we go to Skytown. Tomorrow, game day. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.